First of all, congratulations on 10 years of excellence. So we were able to do a Saturday school program. It's called Going Back Crazy in Smithfield. And so the program was designed to take a group of middle school and high school students through an ecology research project revolving around bats. So what we did, we evaluated the environmental factors of bats across 3 locations in Birmingham. Now, the first location was Smithfield. Smithfield is a historically black community, and it's also a historically red line community. So if you know anything about red line communities, you know that they are rooted in environmental neglect. And so the second location was Ruffner Mountain. It's a nature preserve just east of Birmingham, right on the edge of the city. And the third is Turkey Creek, which is another nature preserve, which is farther north of the city. So at each location, we would go and we would measure the environmental factors, and we used the purple air monitor. Thank you to Purple Air Monitor. We were able to measure the pH using a pH pen provided by YLACES. We were able to use our nets to capture microinvertebrate. And then we will also just do visual surveillance. And so that would be looking at the pollution. We would look at the tree coverage in the area. We would just see the differences between each location just to kind of tell. So the way that the thinking goes, and I think this was the most important part, the way the thinking goes, we started off with the ecology of bats, and then we started to move towards the environmental factors. And we would start to tell, okay, well, how is this community, how is this environment for the bats? And if it's a certain way for the bats, how is it for me? How do these environmental factors affect me? And I think that the evidence that our students were starting to think like this was in the development of a critical mindset that they were able to create. And so I'll give you an example. We have a 7th grader. His name is Zion. And Zion was able to create the question, does the type of bat, micro or macro, determine their preference of water, meaning anaerobic or aerobic water? And so the way Zion came up with this is the first day we went to Ruffner Mountain and we learned about hydrology. We learned about the difference between anaerobic and aerobic water. The second day we had a bat expert come in, Vicki Smith, and she taught them the differences between bats. And completely unprovoked, Zion was able to ask this question. But we didn't teach Zion how to ask a question. Zion just made it up on his own. It was the experience, the ability for Zion to just be in this space, to have this time to sit with all these things in front of him and decide for himself what he wants to ask, which is what he did. And I think that was something that was very beautiful, and it shows that he's developing a critical mindset. And so as the students progressed through, not only were they able to develop questions, but they were also able to do something that I think we as scientists, as community members, should all be able to do, which is love our community first and critique it second. We have people who will just love our community. They just love it and they will never critique it, and that's a disservice to your community. You can never tell how it can be better. But at the same time, we also have people who would simply critique our community, and it's not coming from a place of love. And that creates negative outcomes as well. So for our young community scientists to love Smithfield enough to critique it and say how it can be better in terms of their environment, I think we succeeded in our goal of creating community scientists. And so as we look forward to the future, we'll be doing we'll be participating in the symposium. It'll be actually with other YLACES grantees, and it'll be in Mobile and Africa Town. So we're looking forward to that. Very grateful to you all. And,
Wow. Thank you.